So where are you? So for people that don't know, where are
Yeah.
you from? Give us like your little
Well,
story.
I mean, I don't. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm from Reading. I went to Reading High School.
Okay.
I pretty much
Like
grew
down
up.
the street.
Yeah, for sure. And I pretty much I grew up in Reading, and my whole family's from Cambridge.
Okay.
So my father always lived in Cambridge. So I was like on the weekends with my father, but my mother and her husband
But
lived.
I feel like you're more like city kid than you are Reading.
People say that, I
You give me
guess.
the city
I
kid
think I have a
vibe.
little bit of both, the
Yeah,
best of
like
both
with like
worlds.
Revere mixed in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's because like my father was, a city guy.
Yeah.
He spent his whole life in East Cambridge, and like so
Okay.
I grew up there on the weekends, and
Hmm.
I have my whole family's in East Cambridge. My mother's from East Cambridge, and
Okay.
yeah, people say that. Like I used to work at the Intercontinental Hotel in Boston. People used to come in the bar and be like, "You look like you're from Southie or Charlestown." You know what I mean?
Yeah, you give like a but
Right.
like the Guido vibe.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is like totally
No,
fine. But
no.
it's funny because like
Right.
Reading's not that.
It used to be more like that.
I think it
It
used to
used
be
to be
more Italian
more
and
blue collar, like Italian,
yeah, now
Irish.
it's very
Yeah,
not that.
I know.
Because I feel like North Reading was always like the country version
Right,
of Reading.
right.
And now Reading's a melting pot. I feel like it's like Reading's the
I
new
agree.
Burlington, I
I
feel like.
agree. I agree. It's a
If we're talking about the
beautiful.
North Shore,
I mean,
like
it is a beautiful
yeah,
town.
beautiful town relative
I
to
felt like super
educated.
fortunate and lucky to go to school there and to
Yeah.
like play sports there, and like I had a
Did you play football?
no, I played like I mean I played basketball and hockey, but in high school I kind of like faded out of like playing sports.
Okay. So what made you start
The
a moving
moving
company?
company, well, in my early 20s, I worked at Olympia Moving and Storage for like 4 or 5 years as a
Just
crew
like
chief and a truck driver. They paid for me to go to Parker Driving School, and I got my CDL Class B truck driver's
that's
license.
awesome.
And by them doing that, they kind of like hooked me in and
Yeah.
had me there for years running jobs, and it was exciting for me because Olympia is a huge
Yeah.
company here in Boston. We were moving Celtics players, Red Sox players. Like when
That's so
Kevin
cool.
Garnett got traded to the Boston Celtics,
Really?
we got all his stuff came into the Olympia warehouse and got moved out to his mansion in Concord. And it was just like a really cool moving company to work for because
Yeah.
they were doing like
But you're doing like good jobs. You're not doing like
yeah.
these I think of moving and I think like
Yeah,
I
it's funny.
ski
It's
going into
funny
someone
how
else's.
people, and you know what? Like when you first start a business, you take whatever jobs
Oh
you can
yeah.
get, and you offer your
Totally.
service for cheap just to get your name out there. And so
Yeah.
even now, I never say no to any business.
Yeah.
I say
Well, and
yes to everything.
it's good to do that.
I feel like I have no choice if we want to make money because it's
Yeah.
like I have
Well, especially now.
right.
Are people moving?
economy.
Is like
Well, yeah, yeah, super busy. I mean, we're booking like 7 days a week right now, which is
I
crazy.
love that.
I know, but it's like it's overwhelming because like I don't have an army of guys,
Mhm.
who are gonna help me do all the, help with all these
So are
jobs.
you still physically moving
Yeah,
people
yeah, of
still?
course. Cause like I feel like I need to continue to make sure that, we're
Mhm.
providing that like
Top
yeah,
service,
and
white
with
glove.
the more right. And I feel like I deliver when I'm there, it's more of like they feel very comfortable when I'm
Yeah.
there.
But it's like they get it done right. There's no
Yeah.
slacking off. I feel like that's with every business. I feel like when the boss is around,
Yeah,
everything
definitely.
gets done a little
Yeah,
bit
it's funny because
nicer.
like sometimes I have a kid named Victor started working for me a couple years ago, and
Mhm.
he's such a good kid. I mean, he was like
Mhm.
looking for an opportunity to kind of
Yeah.
better his life, and like so I he started working for me, and I taught him how to drive the 26-foot trucks, and he started running his own jobs. And I was talking to him recently, and he was like, "Yo, I don't think some of the guys like it when you're at
Around.
work with us, because like I guess because there's a lot of maybe more pressure
But like get it done.
if I'm there." Yeah, but the
Like
thing
you're
is,
moving stuff. Like
I need
pick it
to
up, put it down.
exactly. It's pretty straightforward, and like
Yeah.
it's a lot of common sense. Although, some of these moves are serious. I mean, you're moving, 3,000 square foot houses, and you need to
That's
do it
crazy.
within like 10 hours with just four guys and a couple trucks.
Are you packing things for people
We do
too?
pack jobs. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, only it gets expensive if you're gonna have us come in and pack the
Well,
house.
it's hourly, isn't it?
Right, exactly.
So,
It's
yeah.
per the hour, and then if we pack and move, I mean, that's like you're looking at like $5,000 to move. Five, it could even be like 5 to 7 grand to pack and
Yeah.
move like a 2,800 square foot house.
That's still but some people, they don't care and they would wanna do I personally hate moving.
Yeah, no, I think most people do.
I hate every part of it,
Of course,
and
it's
we even
super
have our own box
stressful.
trucks, like, I'm just not a
Right.
fan.
No, I totally understand. And I think if you hire the right people and you hire
Mhm,
like the right company, like ours, for example, we come in and we do it right. And we try to
mhm.
alleviate the stress that comes with not only moving, but buying a new house or,
Yeah.
it could,
It's one less thing you have to worry about, like, if it's
right.
everything's moved there and in the spot that it
Absolutely.
needs to be in,
Right. And
then
that's how
it's
we
less
do it.
chaotic.
Like when we move somebody in, we don't just throw their stuff in there and say, all right, sign here, see you
Yeah.
later. We make sure it's exactly how they want it. So all they have to
Mhm.
do is really unpack their boxes. But yeah, it's
When you first started, did you have the funds, like, to buy your own truck right
no,
away, or
no.
how did it look like transitioning from working for a company to saying, "Hey, I'm gonna start my own business"?
At first, it was like because like you start slow, right? You
Yeah.
like, you get an LLC, you get some business cards made,
Yeah.
you
Get excited
yeah,
because you're like, "I
yeah,
want my
right,
own."
you get a little, yeah, you get excited and like you start doing some jobs, but it happens slowly. Like you don't start a business and all of a sudden have a full schedule,
Yeah.
it happens slowly. So like I feel like maybe in 2021 I got the LLC for the business.
Okay.
And then I just like I think I made an Instagram account
Mhm.
like within that year. Um
Did you go straight for it, like, working full time and then just owning your own, or were you still
so what
working
happened
for them
was
while you started, like, the side
well
hustle of doing it on your own?
what happened was I was actually COVID. I started the business like
Yeah.
right around COVID.
That was my favorite time to start businesses,
I feel like I know
which is, like, the craziest
it
thing to
does
think
seem
of.
crazy, but depending on the business,
Yeah.
it can like mine for people are still moving even during COVID.
Yeah.
And so I was actually working at the Intercontinental Hotel in Boston, and they shut the hotel down because of COVID. They closed the hotel, and I
That's
think we were
crazy.
getting like stimulus checks or something, or maybe even unemployment from. I
Yeah.
don't know. I was getting some kind of checks. Obviously, it wasn't enough money
Yeah,
for me
to
to
live
leave.
on.
Yeah, and like to be satisfied. So I just started looking for side work, and and of course I had experience from working at Olympia.
Yeah.
I had real experience. Like
Like,
when
r
you work at a
moving real
company,
stuff.
yeah, and driving huge trucks. I mean, there's levels to this. There's guys who like
Yeah.
there's some college kids out there who like rent U-Hauls and they don't have the experience
Yep.
to really build a business the way that I've done it. But yeah, they closed the hotel down and then I started working on the side for cash for some like guy who had a small company in Malden. And I
Okay.
was just doing jobs for him. And his company was terrible. But he was getting jobs every day. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, like, who's hiring this guy? Why are people like he
Mhm.
was making money and he had this ugly beat up truck. I was kind of embarrassed to do
To show up.
yeah,
Yeah.
to be
'Cause
like
you're used to, like, this
like
nice truck.
customers loved me, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. You're
they
making the tips off these people, and you
exactly.
don't
I was getting
care.
him 5-star reviews
Yeah.
because I'm pretty personable.
Yeah.
When I go into people's houses, I know they're like got their guard up and they're
Yeah.
a little like, you know what I mean? And so I go in there and I chat them up a little bit. But
Mhm.
so like yeah, I thought to myself, like, oh my God, if this guy can do this and he's making this kind of money, I'm
Yeah.
like, I could do this so much better and I could
Yeah.
make more money and so that's what I did. I as I was working for him, I continued to take jobs from him and work for him. And I made a bunch of, like I said, 2020, I got my LLC and I made business cards.
Yeah.
So as I was doing jobs for him, I was kind of like handing my business cards out to,
Such not something you should do if
you
you
know what
work
I
for
mean?
someone,
Well,
but,
you
like,
gotta
you're
do
just
what
like,
you
"Hey,
gotta
if
do.
you want me to do your job,
No,
here you go next
he
time."
was grimy to people. Like he
But
wasn't running a good
I
business.
think, like, there's so much pressure to moving, right?
Yeah.
And you come in, you're super personal, you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you move, like,
Right.
chill out, what
Right.
needs to go where?" And you're
Right.
like this fresh face that's
Yeah.
coming in, and
Absolutely.
it's not this, like, I feel like when you think of a moving company, you
They
think
have
of these, like,
such a
old
I
schleps
know,
coming in,
I
like,
feel
"Where do you
like
want the box?"
movers
Like,
have such a bad like
yeah.
reputation, and it's weird because like Olympia, like there's a lot of companies that are not like that at all. Like I
Yeah.
said, there's levels to this, but for some reason, everyone just thinks of that lower level of moving where it's like,
Yeah.
you
I've
know,
had movers. This guy was like, "You're too bossy." I'm like, "I'm literally telling you where to put the box. Like,
right?
this isn't what I'm
Really?
supposed to do."
I know it doesn't matter what company you're
There
with.
was I've worked with so many of them, like having the construction company, all these different people. They're like, "Oh, I hired this moving company,"
Right.
and it's never. I'm actually really glad I met you because now I'm like, we have a moving company we can
Yeah.
refer to
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I feel like they all fade out. Like it's hard to stay in the moving business.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like people
Well, it's
start a moving company.
yeah, because it's serious. It's
Well, it's
super
physical.
and
It's a
it's
hard
very
labor.
competitive. I'm competing against these huge companies that have been in business for 20 years and have teams of,
Yeah.
they do have like
15, 20 guys show
yeah,
up
they
to a
do.
job.
They have three salespeople that are out doing sales for them. I mean,
Mhm.
the competition is real. You know what I
And I
mean?
feel like personally, I would rather do business with like a
Yeah,
smaller guy
absolutely.
that's gonna just like take
You
care of
get
my
a more
stuff.
personalized approach to it,
Yeah.
and it's like I feel like, yeah, definitely, I agree because, yeah, because you get to deal with like it's like a family owned business,
Yeah. How are you getting business now? Like, are you a lot of word of mouth
Good
now? Like, are
question.
you?
Yeah, it's all word of mouth pretty much.
I love that.
I know it's crazy because well, yeah, it's all so when first started and to kind of when I first started, I used platforms like Angie's List, Thumbtack.
How did you like Angie's List? I
I
think it's
hated
such a waste
them.
of
Oh, it
money.
was a
It's
scam. I
such a
paid, and
waste of
it's funny.
money.
I paid them like I think it was like 400 or 500 a month for them to send me leads, and then
But then you have to pay them again.
like either way, whatever I paid them for, like it added up to be like 7 grand a year, like 5 grand a year, thousands of dollars a year
Mhm.
for like not the greatest leads and
Yeah.
leads that are being sent to 5 other companies.
Yeah.
So
You're already
you
competing.
still have to compete for a lead
Yeah.
that you just paid $50 for, which is
That's crazy.
crazy. And then it's funny, they send you these like awards. I
Yeah.
mean, if you maintain a 5-star rating,
Yeah.
they send you these like little
Make
awards.
you feel good.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, you know what I
We
mean?
ordered this on Temu, but
Yeah,
here you go.
exactly. And it's like, here you go. Thank you for, you paid 5 grand
Yeah,
for it.
exactly.
But that's how I start. I mean, you have to start somewhere. And so I use
100%.
those platforms to get my name and my business out there. And obviously, when we first started doing jobs, we made sure to be very detailed
Oh,
and
yeah.
provide like a perfect service so they would love us and they would refer us.
Mhm.
And with that being said, so like that first year or two, we used those platforms. We put ads out on
Mhm.
Craigslist, Angie's List, Thumbtack, Nextdoor,
Mhm.
any platform that you
Like
could
that.
think of. We tried to,
Did you do a lot of like Facebook groups too? Did you go on like the town pages?
I
'Cause
started doing that more once I realized that platforms like Angie's List and Thumbtack, they take more money than they give.
100%.
Yeah, than they give to you. They take more than they give.
Yeah.
And with that being said, when you're a new business like that, you can't afford to give, you
When we
know?
first started our construction company, we had like no money to like
Right, of
put into
course.
marketing,
Same
right?
here. Which
Like
is
I was struck. We were like, okay, it's gonna cost us this much to
making
start.
it
Like
super
it
stressful.
was crazy. And then I just had this random idea. I go, what if I just added myself to every town page that like
Yeah,
towns I
awesome idea.
wanted? I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I want people in Wellesley, like
Right,
places where
right.
like people have the money to
Absolutely.
spend
Winchester.
that
Yeah, yeah,
like you
yeah.
want like
It's
good jobs. And
absolutely.
all I wanted to do was design bathrooms and
You
kitchens. So
right,
I was like, these are the type of kitchens I
right,
want to design. And so that's what I did. And every time someone was like, who's a contractor? I was like,
right,
and that's how we built our
right.
business. And then eventually now, like, we don't advertise at all and we're word of mouth. And
Yep, that's amazing. That's pretty
because I
much
don't, I don't really want the odd jobs on Facebook
right.
anymore.
Well, that's what I totally understand that. And I heard like I know a couple other owners of moving companies that have a company like mine, like not a huge company, maybe
Yeah.
small. And we always talk about, what's working for them and
Yep.
what's working for us. And we hear about like, running ads on Google. You get a lot. It's a way, it
Yeah.
does, I know, but I
You
mean,
have to do something.
word of mouth will only get
Get
you
you
so
so
far.
far.
Right.
You do have to invest, I definitely think, in social media and like media outlets. And we've done some
Right.
great episodes with people that do that. And
Right.
that's not my wheelhouse. So I'm like, yeah,
Right.
take my money and do the ads for
Right.
me.
Me
Like
neither. And so,
I don't do that. Like For
Right.
example, like we have video people here. I
Right.
don't make the videos. It's actually really funny. We have a reel coming out because the guys couldn't come to one of my events downstairs and they were like, Lex, we'll give you the camera. Like you can figure it out.
Right.
No,
Right. Right.
no, it's
No,
gonna
of
look
course.
so bad. It's literally a video of me and like I guess my finger was on the zoom button and it was like zooming in and out of the image. And I was like, this is why we hire people.
Right.
Like
Of
I feel like we
course.
have to stick to what we're good at.
Yeah,
So like hiring
absolutely.
someone for marketing is probably
Absolutely.
something that I would do
Of
for
course,
everything.
because I mean, where are you gonna find the time anyways? You're
So are
juggling.
you did you buy your trucks now? Do you own all your
So
trucks or
we
you
all
rent
I
it?
bought
Like
in a year, 2 years ago, I bought our first truck, which was like a 22-foot box truck.
yep.
And then recently we leased a new truck. We did
Ooh,
like a short-term lease on a new 26-foot Freightliner, and we got our company
nice.
name and logo on it. Um,
Nice.
and it's like it's expensive
It
though. It's
is.
like to operate and maintain two trucks like that. Like
It's people have no idea how
I
much the
know they
trucks
don't,
cost.
and it's funny because people call us like, "Oh my god, $500 to move a one bedroom," and it's like that sounds crazy, and it's
Well, they
like,
don't get factor in, like, what do you think you're paying these people? Do you know what I mean? Like, the people that
well,
work for you. Like, do you think that you're paying them
I
$10 an hour?
I don't
Like
know. Sometimes
like,
I feel like almost insulted, like it's almost
yeah.
and like, but like you really have to like explain to them why it costs that much, and you really have to like control your emotions and not
Oh,
get
yeah.
annoyed and like try to just
Well, I think when people think moving, they just think of a couple guys coming in, picking up their
right
boxes, and, like, putting them in
so
somewhere.
much more
And I
serious
think
than
you're
that.
trying to redefine moving because the difference between I would say you versus a large company is like that large company doesn't have like the quality control of their
Right,
employees, right?
right, right.
So like they hope that they're treating it the way their
You're
vision is, but when
100%
you
right.
have 50 people you're managing
It's yeah.
versus like 10 people, you're obviously going to manage the 10 people a lot better than
And with
50.
that being said, I don't want to scale the company to be 10 trucks.
And I love that.
I want to keep it manageable where it's like you said,
Yeah.
quality control and make sure that we're providing a good service. And so with that being said, like although two trucks doesn't seem like enough, like we're even with like
hmm
with the business, the amount of business we're doing now, it's like the two trucks is starting to feel like we need another one and we need
Would
a
you rent?
couple
Just like
more.
rent,
We
like,
do.
well, you lease the big
I
one.
have
Would
a
you like,
commercial account with Ryder Truck Rental and
yeah,
Leasing, right? And so once you hook up with them and you start to like lease trucks like for years, like 5-year lease, once you
yeah.
start doing that, they really get behind you and they really
hmm
offer you like whatever you need, like
I love
sprinter
that.
vans, 26-foot leases, like you have like
I almost bought a Sprinter.
did you?
Yeah,
I mean, they're awesome, especially
yeah.
I would love to get one for my business just for like
I would love one, but
because then no, I know.
that's not what I
Well,
when I texted you, I was like, "I'm buying a bus." I literally bought a bus the other day.
really? For what?
So,
To
so I
do like
always
a
wanted so I okay, so I have the 3 kids, I want more kids, we have a farm, we have all
right.
this stuff, right? My husband has 2 box trucks, he has a 16-footer, and then he
Okay.
has, like, a smaller 12-foot
For a
truck.
construction business?
Yeah,
Okay.
so because he's a pack out guy, so everything's in organized in pack
Love
outs,
that.
rolls out, like, really clean for the
Love
most part.
that. Yep.
And one of them, the smaller one, we end up using for the farm all the time. But the problem is that we always wanna take my kids and, like, our nieces and nephews out,
Right.
and there's never a vehicle that can, like, handle all that, and I hated the
So you
Escalade. I
right.
didn't wanna, like, climb into a car. So my friend sent me this video of, like, moms and Sprinter vans, like, Sprinter vans, like the new mom car.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay. I look at the one I want that had a lift gate. It was like 190,000, like with all decked out.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not
That's
spending
like a
that. I'm
brand
building a new,
new. That's
brand new,
crazy.
all the thing.
No,
Even
right.
like 120 grand. Like I'm not spending
That's
that on a
crazy. No,
vehicle
I
because I'm
know.
doing a huge addition to my house. So I'm like, I'm not
Right.
spending that.
Right.
So I found, no lie, an old, it's like a Ford 450. It's a 2020. It's no, what year is it? It's a 2017
And so it's
literal
got the
shuttle
seats
bus.
in it. It's got
It's a legit shuttle
okay.
bus
And you're gonna
with a
keep
lift gate in
and you're
it.
gonna keep the inside
Yeah,
like
I'm
that?
just gonna because the kids are gonna end up getting it disgusting anyway. Like, why am I
Right.
gonna make it pretty?
Right.
They're toddlers. Like,
No,
I
no,
have
I
a 3,
understand.
4, and a 2-month old.
Right.
So I don't care. So we're all going to North Conway for like the Polar Express. So that was the push to
Oh,
get this.
cool. Yeah.
So my kids, my niece and nephew, all the kids, and my grandmother who's in a wheelchair would want to go.
And
So it
she
has
got
a
the lift
wheelchair
gate.
lift.
That's
And I was
awesome.
like, we're gonna buy this. Let's do it. And he's like, well, worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, I have another work truck and I'll just work out of a huge bus. And I was like, okay.
He sounds like a team
But
player.
it was just like something to bring the kids to do something fun. And it was
Right.
cheaper than renting
Right.
RVs all the time to take
Yeah.
these kids to fun
Yeah,
places
it's
because they
expensive
all
for
want to
that.
be together. Like,
Yeah, no, I get it. That's fun for the kids as well.
yeah, the
Like
box
that.
trucks are fun. Like my kids on the farm, well, we don't do this on the highway, guys, relax.
Yeah.
But like if we're on the farm and going from one side to the other, like the kids will climb in the back of the box truck and hold on and
Right.
like they love it.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
just
for
like
sure.
a fun thing.
Absolutely.
So,
That's cool.
but box truck, they're so expensive.
Yeah, they are very
The
expensive.
maintenance, like
And so
tires.
yeah, for sure. And then like, and the reason I've it's important, like my business has grown obviously in the
Yeah.
past like year and a half, like the past couple years. And it's like, so I mean, if you want to be like you need a nice truck to pull up in. We're moving $1 million
Yeah. You're not
houses.
having some like thing that's like,
Yeah, no,
you're
and like
like,
it's super important to have a reliable truck because when
yeah.
I bought my first truck, like I said, I didn't start the business with a huge budget.
Yeah.
But the first truck I bought, I think, was like 25,000. It was a 2013, and
Hmm.
it was just an all white box truck. And I got like, I put my little name and logo on. It was like when they did it, I was like, oh, it's not big enough. And then
Yeah.
it was like everything's like a
But it's
little.
expensive. You're like 5 grand for that sticker.
I know, but it's a learning experience. So like
Yeah.
I got that truck, and then like I pretty much realized that like okay, we need a bigger truck, and so yeah, we leased this new truck, and it's been awesome because like
That's
it's
awesome.
super reliable rider. There was
Hmm.
a time we did a job going out to Vermont. I think one of the belts broke off the highway,
Oh
and
gosh.
because we leased from them, they come out in a second, and they came out within an hour and replaced the belt right on the side of the highway, and
That's
we were right on
awesome.
the right back on the road. And
That's
so
awesome.
if that happened in the truck that I owned,
You'd be screwed.
I wouldn't have anyone to call, and I would have to have the truck towed, which is
Hmm.
$800 minimum
Minimum.
to get one of those big tow trucks out there. And this happened to me probably like 5 times with that first truck. And I was like, picture me like with the business, like like it's a new business. I'm
Hmm.
spending so much money. The
Hmm.
truck breaks down with a customer's stuff in it. You know how
That's awful.
embarrassing that is? So like these are the kind of speed bumps
That's like
that you
scary.
deal. It is scary, and I'm such like a perfectionist and don't want anything to go wrong. And so like something like that happens, I'm like, oh, it's like it
Like
kills you.
you're
Yeah,
like late, and I like start to get
yeah.
anxiety.
It's like exactly. You customers are so on
Mhm.
edge during a
All,
move,
oh yeah.
even if like the littlest thing gets scratched or damaged, or even just something weird happens, the customer's energy shifts. You
Have
know,
you ever denied a job?
denied a job.
Like went in someone's house and like what's like a moving horror story?
Oh God. So there was like
Like
a
or
Haitian.
hoarders?
Yeah, there's a lot of people out. Excuse me. I'm
Oh
sorry.
no, that's fine.
There's a lot of people out there that there's a lot of people out there that are hoarders like that. You know what I mean? Who like older
Hmm.
people. A horror story that I had was like a couple of years ago. I took a job. It was like a Haitian woman in Chelsea, and she lived who was like a lawyer who drove her Mercedes. So she had some type of good job, and she seemed like she had money. Although her two-bedroom condo was a mess, and she said she was going to clean it up prior to us getting arriving to do the move, that it was all going to be organized and cleaned. We showed up and it wasn't, and we had her scheduled in the morning time. The job shouldn't have took more than 5 hours, so we had another job scheduled in the afternoon. Her job ended up taking 8 hours because it was an absolute disaster. And
I hope you charge for that.
oh, I did, but she wouldn't pay. She was like, "I'm not paying you that." Bill came to $1,200. She's like, "I'm not paying you that." Just like that. Yeah,
What?
just like that. And there's nothing you can do. All you can do is take them to small claims court.
And then you end up spending more time and wasting
Oh, it
time
was
than you
like
do on
I was like,
getting
but
it out.
still, like we did right by her. Like we dealt
Yeah.
with her
What a disaster.
disaster of a and filthy people. And I was in there myself doing it with
Oh
like
yeah.
two of my employees, and like it was like we got like masks on, like just kind of like what? Like I'm just like, what did I sign up for? And so when she did that and was like and like threw like $500 on the table, I like. I like wanted to live.
Was your initial quote to her 500?
No, no, no. The initial quote was for like 6 hours. It was like for like maybe 800 or something like
So
that.
she didn't even pay you what you guys
No,
initially
no,
agreed
no.
on.
She just, but you got to be careful. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to say this, but like, you got to be careful who you do business with. Certain cultures or where they come from, the
I think that's like a truth to be said. I think that everyone is afraid to talk about horror stories or things that happened with people that are a different culture than
no,
them
I'm
because
not
they're automatically
afraid. She
afraid.
was a Haitian woman, and I don't think she had the right intentions from
No,
the
but I
beginning.
think that as business owners, I think that we get a bad rep when we want to talk about like a bad experience because they're like, "Oh, well, you're, you know, you're not being fair," or you're just like, we're afraid to be like offend anybody. It's like, I'm not trying to offend anybody.
Right,
This was my experience with this person. And like this is what happened. It wasn't good. You know
right.
what I mean? I
Yeah,
think that
no,
we're so worried about being like politically correct all the time that we can't just like say like this is what happened. This was not
I'm not even
cool.
worried about it. I just keeping it real. Like it
I
was a
love that.
nightmare, and she was awful. I was I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I'm calling my lawyer. I'm like, I'm gonna take you to court. Like I
Yeah.
was so mad, and
Yeah.
like the whole family was out there, and like,
Was there many people living in small quarters?
sh- um, in her situation,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. God knows
So
what situation they had going on there, but like,
side story, I used to own a 3 family in Lynn, and my mom had, like, taken it over for a little while, so she rented the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor, and she's like, "The brother's gonna live on the 2nd floor, and his sister wants to live on the 3rd," and I was like, "Mom, please tell me to do that."
right,
And she's like, "No, no, no, I did it," and I was like, "Mom, can I, like did you fill anything out?" And she's like, "No," and at first, they were the nicest family from Guatemala, like, really nice family.
right,
Year and a half goes in, there's 32 people living in a two-bedroom apartment. 32 people in a two-bedroom. So we have to go up, you have to do inspections because now, Lynn is under the
oh
same
my
rules as
god,
Boston, so you have to, like
32 people.
there I'm not even kidding. There was bunk beds. There was 2 people in each bunk,
Oh my
and there was
god,
bunk beds lining the whole building, like, the whole apartment. Like, in the kitchen, like, bunk beds just
that's
everywhere.
crazy.
And they were, like, 2 people in each one.
Was
And
it
so
was it well maintained at
no, it
least?
was disgusting. And so my grandmother lived on the 1st floor and she was a hoarder. And I was like, how are we gonna move all this stuff? And the quote from a mover was just like, it was just too much. So
Yeah.
we suited up. It took us 11 dumpsters. I'm not
Oh my
11 30-yard
god.
dumpsters to get rid of the crap in her house. And it was just like junk. My grandmother used to go to like building 19
Right,
and just like buy like
right,
15 3X shirts, and she was all of like 75 pounds and
right,
like tiny.
right,
So it was just like this awful move, but we renovated it. We spent like a boatload of money cleaning it, and I put on Airbnb, and I was like, it's close to Salem, like we'll do
yeah,
really well. And we started doing really well. And all of a sudden the weather got better. And I was like, and I had pest control, $30,000 in pest control.
right.
And I'm like, what is happening? And the cockroach problem
Oh man.
was just out of control. Then the 3rd floor, same thing. Would never tell me that there was a problem until like the leaks were coming through the ceiling. It was just not. And then when the worst part of it ever, and I don't know if you ever dealt with this, like the fire department when I sold the house, the fire department comes in and like does an inspection, right?
Yep,
So we're moving everything. I got guys moving stuff.
yep.
There is 16 propane tanks on the enclosed porch of the 2nd floor.
For what reason?
They were using propane to heat because they kept what they would do is they wouldn't pay their electric bill.
Yep.
So they kept calling like National Grid and getting someone else's name on the bill.
God.
And when they caught on, they said, "Well, we're not going to supply your apartment
So
anymore
they
for
just
elect."
started
So they started using propane heaters in the house. Like those outdoor like heaters
right.
that like super fire
So before
hazard.
you rented to these people, did you do like a background? Do you do background
So
checks?
my mom rented it. I wasn't really involved. It was like super crazy. But that's like another thing is like we had to
That's
pay so much money to move things out. And I wanted to move everything. I'm like, let's get movers come. And there some of the movers were like, we're not moving this stuff.
right.
Like
Because it
this
was
is
dirty.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were like, there's cockroaches. We're not moving it.
Right. I
And
don't blame them because like
I
you
would
could.
move it in my truck. Imagine the car like it goes in someone else's house from your truck.
Right,
No.
right. No, I know. Yeah, we do it actually. So I'm late. Speaking to my employees recently, and we started saying that like we need to. I need to start telling customers like prior to us arriving, can you please like wipe down your furniture, make sure stuff is clean and prep for us because like we'll go in and move stuff. We have like really nice moving blankets that we use to cover stuff, and like we're not gonna throw that over like 2 centimeters of dust and like
Ugh.
I know, and it's almost like, we understand people are so busy with the
Yeah.
packing and their kids, but like
Would you
I
ever
do
think of
it's
offering cleaning as part of your as part of your business, like partnering with a cleaning company and being like, "Hey."
I do love that idea. I mean, I've had girls that I've
Yeah.
like dated that are like, or that I know who are like, wanting to like have a
Yeah.
cleaning service and try to get
Yeah.
business cards to my employees. It is a good idea. I even got some woman who does like packing and organizing.
Ooh,
Um,
like a professional organizer?
yeah,
I have a couple of them if you need them.
she was interested in like doing that, like
Yeah.
partnering, although I was watching them like pack a house and prep a house, and like they do it very slowly and very
Well, I think that people that organize are so, organized in how they pack things that they're,
yeah.
not realizing,
Mm,
time's not on our side, baby. Like, we gotta get this place
right.
clean,
So like it's organizing because the packing, we want those jobs. We want the pack jobs.
yeah.
Kind of gives the guys a break a little bit from like hard labor and like,
Yeah.
get in there.
The physical labor of moving is the worst. Like, anytime I have to move my bed, I'm like, "Ugh."
Yeah, no, I know. I know. To be honest though, for certain people, like you gotta understand, like myself, my coworker, Victor, the other guys who work with us. I mean, these are all strong, athletic guys. I'm very
Yeah.
athletic, and like it's not as hard for us. Although it
Yeah.
gets,
Of course. Like, I
over
mean,
time it can wear you down, but like
100%.
as long as you're getting your rest and you're not overdoing it,
Mhm.
I definitely need to hire more people because like I feel like my guy Victor needs a
How
break
many
a
how
little
many
bit.
people, employees do you have right now?
It's just like a couple full-time, guys, and then we have like a handful of part-time guys. It's
Mhm.
like 5 to 6 guys that we use. I mean, we only have 2 trucks, so we're not
Yeah.
sending out more than 2 crews in one day.
How are you managing your business with, online? Are you sending invoices through, Square? Are
We're
you
like
using,
so
a
we
system yet?
no, that's what I need so bad. And like so
Okay.
I'm exploring options. They
Yeah.
have different softwares like Move It Pro. Um, there's Jobber, I think, for like
Mhm.
invoices. And I don't
Yeah.
know. Are you familiar with
Yeah.
Jobber? Is that
That it's yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the one I'm thinking of, but there's,
right? There's
multiple
so many,
different
so we're
CRMs.
exploring which one would work best for our situation.
Yeah.
We've been doing it pretty manually.
That must be crazy.
it's
I
starting
don't
to
know
get
how
overwhelming.
you do
And
it.
my mother, God bless her,
Oh,
she
she does it for
she
you?
works in the office and does like she's amazing though because she was
I love
for
it.
like 20 years she was the head of administration at Harvard Vanguard.
Oh, I love it. So
Well,
she's, really
she married
organized.
the medical director,
Oh,
and so
okay.
like she's super professional, and like very qualified to be doing what she's doing. She's
Yeah.
overqualified, obviously,
Yeah.
but customers are always like, "Oh, we love Suzanne, and like she's awesome," and like little do they know she's my mother, but
But that's cute though.
yeah, it's a family business.
I
I
think
mean,
you could totally do
to
a
be
video
honest,
about that. Like, it's
whatever I could do to save some money, obviously she's not charging me, you know what I mean? She just
I'm
retired recently.
actually using her as slave
But
labor.
she's like, and so we're starting to get too busy. It's too much for her. And so like she's
Yeah.
trying to see if my sisters might be interested. And, you know,
How many siblings do you have?
I have two, an older sister who has 3 kids, lives in Winchester, and I have a younger sister who I just moved with her boyfriend, who's a Boston firefighter. I moved them to one of his condo in Dorchester.
Okay.
So yeah, I have an older and a younger sister.
So you're the middle boy.
Yeah.
Italian family? What's your
Yeah, Italian and Irish. My mother's
mom?
Italian and my
Yeah.
father's
So mom's
Irish.
always gonna help out.
Yeah, yeah, for
My
sure.
brother's so baby
Oh,
too.
my
My
mother.
brother's the middle too. So I'm the oldest and I have a brother and then a sister. So we're
Okay.
the same.
Yeah, I
Oh
got you.
yeah.
She's
Nick
been
does no wrong. My brother
yeah,
Nick
oh,
does no
really?
wrong. No,
He's
no.
the mid oh, he's the
He's the middle.
youngest.
He's the middle boy.
Oh,
He's
he's
the
the
only
middle.
boy. So
Okay, okay. Yeah, no, my
boys
mother
don't do wrong in
yeah,
these
yeah. I know. She's always through all the things I've ever did in my life, she's always stood by me. And I'm just super grateful and lucky to have her because I don't even know if I could afford to,
Yeah.
it would be our budget's tight. Like I
Well, it
it's
would be just you trying to manage everything and you
I
wouldn't
couldn't
be
do
able
that.
to
I wouldn't be able
scale.
to do that because I work 40 hours a week on the trucks right now. I wouldn't be able to
So
do
you're still driving
I
full time.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm starting to give more of the work to Victor, and I'm trying to transition into like
That's difficult though.
it's very difficult because yeah, it's
You seem like a control freak because you're a business owner. That's what we do.
I am,
So
yeah.
how are you managing being able to like pull the reins back and letting them kind of take the reins a little?
Well, I feel like I'm lucky because like I do have good employees. Like I
Mhm.
wouldn't do that unless I
Yeah.
did, right? And so with that being said, I like Victor worked with me for like 2 years, up until I started to take a step back. And so I know for a fact that he's very well trained. I know how he knows how to handle most situations. And if he doesn't, I'm just a phone call away.
Mhm.
Like there's been times I've had to come out and
Yeah.
show up on a job
It's
and
not that
like,
you're not going to be supportive, but it does take a lot as an owner to back off a little bit and
yeah,
let someone else have like controlling decisions and,
right.
you
You got
know?
to still stay on top of things and make sure the trucks are staying clean and make sure they're not losing
Yeah.
tools and like it's a lot. It's so much
So
more than
much.
what people think. Like they call us like, "Oh, I have a one bedroom. It's not going to take you more than 2 hours." And I'm thinking like, "What?"
How do you know?
Yeah, I'm like, we number 1, we have a 3-hour minimum. Like we're not coming out for $250. Like
No, it costs more in gas than the truck
right. And like
itself.
so it's like, it's tricky, but I plan on taking a step back, but like on the bigger jobs, like the single family houses, on the houses that are 800, like the bigger
Yeah, just
houses, and when
houses.
people are buying a new
Or
house.
commercial. Are you getting into more commercial
Yeah,
work now?
like like with
The gym?
Ultraflex, we had like it was such an awesome opportunity. Ultraflex called us and said they needed some help. They got a whole bunch of new equipment and they needed help moving things around. And it was an awesome opportunity. Just
Commercial seems a lot easier in my
it
mind.
is. It definitely is, and you make more money, kind of. It is. It definitely is easier. We did a commercial. Yeah, we do. We did a commercial job. My sister's husband has a business in the seaport.
Mhm.
They sell tickets or something like that, and they had an office. They bought a new office in the seaport, and so we moved them from their office that they were
Mhm.
working out of and renting into another office that they purchased, and so yeah, it definitely is easier for sure because you're not lugging. You got to think like not all people pack and prep a house the
No.
way they should. And so that's another like funny thing about it is like they have so much to say about movers. Everyone has like, right? Let's talk about people. Like we show up at houses and like it's 50% packed and they still expect the job to be
Be
on
done.
estimate when it's like, packing is a huge responsibility.
It's
Packing and
huge.
prepping a house for the moving company is like a huge responsibility.
Mhm.
And it's tedious. And if you're not good at it or you haven't done it or you have 3 children running
Yeah, it's
around,
hard.
how right. And so like, the house sometimes when I get these calls and I'm giving a quote, I ask them, "Do you have children? How many children do you have?"
Yeah, are they gonna be there?
Because if there's 3 kids, you know that it might be a little hectic in there and there might be a ton of toys and like you know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, and we also ask, how long have you lived in the house? Because if you lived in a house for like 30 years,
There's a lot of stuff.
yeah, most likely you
Oh,
got
yeah.
your attics filled or you got the basement filled and it's gonna add time to the estimate. So, I think it's like, yeah, sometimes I feel like people could do a better job like packing and prepping and kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
cleaning up their
I had a
house.
friend that ran a moving company in Jersey, and he did it by weight. So he would
Well,
have his
long
truck
distance,
go on a he'd have his
yeah, on a
truck go on a
scale.
scale
That's what
and
you do for like long distance. Was he like a
no, that's what she did all the time. He priced everything by weight. He was like he
interesting?
goes, "This is my ballpark for what I
Is
think
he
you
still
have."
in business?
Yeah, he loves it, but he
Really?
does mainly commercial now.
Right.
But that's all he does. Down in Jersey.
Interesting.
Been in business for like I think like 20 years. It was his dad's and it was his and now
Right.
whatever.
I wonder
But
how that
I have no idea
doing
how it
it by weight
works.
works. I wonder what the numbers
I
compare.
can have him reach out to you.
Yeah,
They're
does he
super
have like
cool.
an Instagram or something?
I don't think they do Instagram,
Okay.
but like I think that I can give you his
I
number.
would love that.
Yeah.
I'm like curious
They're
to
like old, like old school
old school. I
Italian.
love
Like
that.
they come out with the paper.
Love
He like
that.
has like the 3 thing paper. He gives you the
Yeah,
yellow
yeah.
copy.
I
He's like,
like
this is
that.
how much it's gonna be.
I
Like
like that. Yeah.
nothing's on the books.
Right. I like
Cash
that. Yeah,
only.
really.
Oh yeah, still cash
We do
only.
cash discounts. We do like a 5% cash discount.
Yeah.
It's
People
nice. Like
still
last
cash.
week, I know everyone like it was last week, like a lot of customers paid in cash, and it was nice because we pay some guys in cash sometimes,
Yeah.
like just guys we need extra
I
money.
think that people get so hell bent. They're like, oh, the legality of using cash. But like every once in a while,
No, it's
when you get cash, like it's such a good feeling.
yeah, I
When I
agree.
have to like put a deposit in or like I have like physical cash, I'm like, wow, it was a good day today,
Right,
Because I feel like
definitely.
everything is so swipe, 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 swipe. You kind of forget of like what's going in, what's going
Well,
out.
that's another thing.
It's
Like
just so much
you talk
happening.
about swiping, like you talk about the Square using Square app or whatever you're
Oh,
using.
so much money,
Yeah, like I don't know how I'm a small bit. I pass that processing fee on to the customer
which
because
is technically you're not supposed to, but
really,
oh yeah.
but why?
It's like some law. I don't know.
It's a law or it's just like
Like, I mean, like it's one of those. So on mine,
well,
when I
because
used
what
to do
about
it, I
when
used to do a convenience fee.
yeah. What about when you go to a place and they're like, there's a $3 fee, or you go to an ATM and there's like a $3
That's what I said, but one of the CPAs I worked with told me it was like a law not
really?
to. I don't know how true that is. Maybe we can like Google it. But
Yeah, definitely. I'll
people,
look into that.
I've put on like appreciation fee. Oh, you like put a name to it instead of like you can't say processing fee. That was I think it was
Right.
like wording.
That's good to
You
know.
can do it if it doesn't say
I'll change the
processing
wording.
fee.
And like, well, I just felt
Just do
like
convenience. You want to use a card because it's convenient? Okay, you have to pay for it.
exactly. We offer every other way to pay. You could
Yeah.
give us a check, you could pay cash, you could do Venmo, you could do
You
Zelle.
still do checks?
I take checks from people. You got to think. I'm like, I'm not scared to take a check. Number one, I mean, not to say this like we would do anything, but like, we know where they live, and like,
Yeah, you're like, "Hey,
that would be a
your
little,
check bounced,
yeah, like that would be weird that you just purchased like a $1 million house,
and you
and
can't pay for your, like, 5 grand in moving."
yeah, and like you had us there logging out. Like, I mean, we sometimes we kill ourselves out there.
I don't know how you do it.
If it's like one of those, like recently we had a move with one of the clients from Live Realty.
I love her.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
uses our studio. Candace is
Candace is awesome.
amazing.
Well, speaking of Live Realty and Candace, like when I first started the business, to kind of go back a
Yeah,
little bit, you were asking like what was I doing to get jobs? It was like, well, number one, when I made the Instagram page, I just started reaching out to realtors, like
smart.
saying like, hey, my name's Charlie, I own a moving company, and I just, if I would love to move your client. I forget what I would say. I was just reaching out, kind of
Yeah,
trying to connect with whoever I could. And luckily, I had some like a mutual friend or somebody I grew up with who was at Live, and I think she started her business in 2021, I believe,
I think.
something around that time. And
Yeah.
so she started like staging her own. She was doing staging on her
Mhm.
own, and they were looking for help with
Staging
office.
is so like, moving the stuff like, I
Yeah,
couldn't do
well,
it.
sure. No, I get it. Well, I mean, it worked out well because I offered like a discounted rate to
Yeah,
help them move the staging stuff,
yeah,
and just to get my foot in the door and like kind of be able to show them the service we provide and
yeah,
let them maybe feel comfortable referring us to their clients. And
absolutely.
that's exactly what happened. And I'm super grateful for Candace giving the opportunity to let us come do that.
She's so good to work with too.
Yeah,
Like, she's
she's
so down to earth. You just, like, very
absolutely. She's
direct.
on point. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
totally agree. I love Candace, and I'm so, like I said, I'm grateful for the
But
opportunity.
I think what people need to understand is that with doing that, you knew you went in at a lower price to get it done because you wanted your name out there.
Right.
I think a lot of kids today don't understand the
Oh,
hustle,
I agree. You're
like that and I was just talking about this earlier. I was like, how do you incentivize people now? Because these kids these days, it
That's
ain't
a
money.
great question.
Because if they wanted money, they'd be working hard. This new generation is so difficult because when a lot of these newer, whether it's estheticians downstairs or when business owners sit with me here, um, they're like, well, how do we incentivize people to work harder? And I feel like it's like these hustler type personalities is like a dying breed.
Right.
Like, I don't know where they're going.
I agree. I just think it takes time to find the right people. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
like, you try people out, you're like, it's not the right person, and you try somebody else out, and then
But then I wonder, like, where do they go?
I
You know
don't
what I
know. Yeah, yeah. I don't
mean?
think
You're
they go
like a
very
drifter. Like,
I don't
where
think
do
they
you
go very
go?
far, to be honest with you,
No.
unless they change their mindset and their attitude.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, it's like when I first started, and like I didn't have anybody. I didn't
Mhm.
do this with a friend. It was all
It
by
was just by
myself. And like
you're like, I'm a guy with a moving truck.
I had like a car. I would take like 20 moving blankets, shove them when I first started doing jobs, and I'd shove them into my sedan, my like Honda Civic, and like I'd put a couple dollies, a roll of tape. I'd go to U-Haul, I'd rent a U-Haul, and then I would just I'd put an ad out on Craigslist for labor, and like I'd have someone meet. I wouldn't even interview. I would just,
Yeah.
and it was awful. Like I had to
Were
like,
you like the guy that was picking up people at the Home Depot? You know, and like
I
people
never
line
did that. I never did that.
Yeah, I've
But
never done it.
getting people off Craigslist is can be similar. It can be hit or miss. It's like 50-50.
Don't you get scared?
Of what?
I don't know, like
Yeah, and I
some
get scared of the
creepo?
fact that like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I get scared about being like embarrassed that I got a weirdo with me.
Yeah.
Like there's times I have to be like, yo, dude, wait in the car. I'm gonna go touch base with the customer. When I need
Yeah.
you, I'll come get you. You know what I mean? Like, and so there's definitely been some like a few
You're like,
times where I've been like a little embarrassed about, and like I know there's no way you can start a business and just have all-star employees.
no, when
It
we first
takes
started our construction company, we had
it takes
we did a roof job. I'll never forget this. It was awful. And roofers are a different breed.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, yeah. I used to
I've
get into
never
that.
met a sober roofer.
Right. No, I
Never,
know.
never.
I know.
They're on these roofs like this.
I know.
No, they don't want to wear safety stuff. They don't care. They're just high as a kite. Like, and not being like race or anything, but if they're like white guys that are doing it, they're
Yes.
on perks. They're on the roof.
Right.
They do a great job, but they're not friendly.
Right.
And we were looking for like another roofing guy, and I put an ad out. This guy shows up at first, seemed totally fine. Totally fine.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden he's on the roof and I'm like, why isn't he like harnessed in? Like, what is he doing? Next thing he comes down, he's like 10 sheets to the wind. His eyes are pinned. I was like,
Oh,
oh my God. Like, I really hope this customer does not see this guy. And
that's
thank God it was a
usually
small roof and it was like he was a friend of a friend. And
right.
I was like, never again. Never again.
Right. Yeah, no, it's interesting because it's like you always I've been in those situations too, and I just try to like,
You get it done.
yeah, you just do what you gotta do to get it done.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh my God, I can't believe
I
it.
go home at night. There's so many times like I go home at night and I'm laying in bed and I'm like replaying this day in my head and I'm just like, oh God, I just hope the customer,
Didn't notice.
yeah, like
But I'm sure they don't. Like the customer never said anything to me that one time.
right. I think as long as the job got done and like
Yeah.
nothing serious happened, like
No one got hurt.
no harm, no foul, like you know what I mean? And it's a lesson learned by us not to,
Yeah.
look for better employees. But what happens is I feel like when your business starts to grow, you start attracting better people. You start because they're
100%.
starting to see like, oh wow, look at like this kid's doing well.
Mhm.
His business is like it's a company I'd work
The
for.
junk employees feel too intimidated to apply for a company that like looks good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like the people that are like, I'm just looking to make like
Exactly. Well,
25
yeah,
bucks
yeah,
an hour cash. Like they're not gonna go to
exactly.
like,
Because
they're
they
not gonna
know
see your truck and be
right.
like, oh, he's gonna give me cash.
Exactly.
You know?
Because they know like I'm sure they understand that we're taking it serious. Like
Yeah.
there's so much money involved and like, we're not gonna put up with like any type of nonsense. And like um although some people will come to work and they'll show the best version of themselves in like those
Mm-hmm.
first 2 weeks. And if
Mm-hmm.
you give it time, you start to see the real them. So,
Mm-hmm.
we deal with that and like
I was moving places in Boston
it's
with like
fun.
parking and like, is
Well,
it always
typically people get parking permits when needed. And
okay
so they're responsible to get parking permits if
for
they,
you?
yeah, if they don't have space,
Oh, okay.
if they don't have a driveway or a place to park the truck,
Yeah.
they need to put
You're in
in
downtown Boston, like you're
ex-
gonna take up half the street. So
exactly. So they need to get a parking permit for the truck, which is like $69.
that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, which they're responsible to pay for. And yeah, I think moving in Boston is fun. Like we do work for Trinity Church. You know
Hmm.
Trinity Church?
The one
It's
in
like
North Reading?
the oldest, no, no, the oldest church in
Oh
Boston.
yeah.
It's right across from the John Hancock
Hmm.
building. Like we help them kind of keep their church clean, the rectory clean. We do a lot of
Oh,
junk removal for them, and
that's so
like
cute.
it's awesome because it's just cool to do jobs like that down. Like
Yeah.
when we first started, they gave us the church is beautiful inside.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's like it was just for me. It's cool that they use our company.
Versus like they could use anybody.
Yeah, they could use anybody. I'm sure they got the money, and
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
I think the guy who manages it all, I went in there to I don't know what I went in there for. I think at one of my customers, they bought a refrigerator off the church that
Oh, there you go.
yeah, something like that. And I met the manager and I just
Yeah.
was talking him up. And all of a sudden, he started calling me to help them out. And it just turned into doing more work for them, which was awesome. And so like yeah, little gigs like that, working with Ultraflex was cool. I feel like it gives my employees like something different than like lugging boxes and like
Mhm.
household moves. It's a little more
Yeah,
little
changing it up.
yeah, changing it up. To be honest, so I have a new employee. It's a Brazilian kid. He's 21 years old. He's like the nicest, the best
Mhm.
worker, the nicest kid.
I
Please,
love my Brazilian crews that I
oh
work
my
with.
God,
Love
the
them.
best. He's
The
his English
best.
is okay, it's not too bad. And
Yeah.
like what I was gonna say was that like yeah, he's just such a good kid. And what was the point?
He appreciates working for you, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Oh, so what I was gonna say was he was doing construction, and so I only could get him on the weekends at first because
Mhm.
he had a construction gig and he was being loyal to
Yeah.
them. And but then he started telling me that, dude, moving is way better than construction. Like you
Yeah.
make more money,
You're in and out.
it's not as hard, you don't get as dirty. So
Yeah.
like people talk about how hard moving is, but like
It's not I
but
think
like
it's just
hard for who? For like
yeah.
women and for kids and for like old people? Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
like
for,
if
like,
you're like a young,
capable
strong
man.
man, moving is like any other job, like
Yeah,
construction, anything
absolutely.
else. And so I think the kid knows, like with the kind of tips you get over here, $50 to $100 per
Yeah.
job. It's
I
like
give all anytime I've had a mover, I'm like even the guys that drop off the furniture when I buy new furniture,
that's really
I'm
nice
like,
of
"Here's
you
fifty
because they
bucks."
appreciate it
Yeah.
so much.
I also like, at my farm, we always have, like, fresh eggs all the time,
Yeah.
so last time I had my a new couch delivered, I gave them each 50 bucks and a carton of eggs, and I was like, "Go ahead, enjoy,"
So
and they
nice.
were like,
Yeah.
"Thank you so
Right.
much." I'm
That's
like,
such a nice
"Something
thing to
little,"
do.
you know?
Absolutely. Because especially if they have like if they're courteous and they're
They were
polite
so
and they
nice.
have like nice energy,
Yeah.
because like it's so easy to be annoyed in a moving situation. And so I feel like
100%.
part of being professional is to like never ever show that you're annoyed.
Poker face.
Yeah, like you really have to
Things are
control your emotions
Oh, yeah.
because like it can be annoying. Like some people live in like houses in Winthrop or like Somerville, Cambridge, like tiny stairways, and these
Yep.
people have furniture that barely fits. And they're like,
Mhm.
"Don't scratch the walls, don't do this." It's like, but your furniture barely fits. It's like, there's only so much.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
only so much we're capable of doing. And so like, it's being courteous and polite. I feel like is what is like what makes
Well,
a
you
company professional. You know what I
100%.
mean?
So I always end every podcast with the same thing. If you were to talk to someone who was like a young kid that wanted to start a moving company,
Yeah.
what are like three little advice points that you would give them?
Three little advice
Like,
points.
who do you like? Just like three things.
Um, I would say, it's overwhelming. So, you need to be prepared. I feel like,
Hmm.
number one, have a good team of people. Like, try to find, like, if you're going to start it out, like, try to make sure you have a
Hmm.
couple of solid people you can rely on. Cause if not, then you're just picking randoms,
Yeah.
you know?
Doing what we did.
Yeah. Right. Which is
Fake it
sometimes,
until we made
so
it.
exactly. Sometimes you have no choice.
Yeah.
But like I feel like if you're younger, you probably have
Yeah.
like friends and you know what I mean, kids out of college that you know. So I think trying to like pick, a couple good people to start.
Hmm.
And then number two, I think um having a business plan is important.
Hmm.
Having like a plan, so you know which direction you're going, you know what you want to do. And so I think having a business plan is very important. I'd never had one. I just dove right into it.
I've had them and then I haven't had them, and then I'm
Well,
like,
yeah,
and then the plan doesn't go as a plan. It's more like preferences that I wanted to happen.
right.
But
Just have
I
a
think it's important to have like a physical layout of
yeah,
like what you think
right.
is gonna happen.
And then I think number three is just I mean, I think like being in control of like your budget, keep
Mhm.
your expenses low.
Finances. Yeah.
Yeah, like you need to keep your expenses low or you're gonna end up in debt and you're gonna
Mhm.
end up in a bad situation. And like
Yep.
imagine the people who like start businesses and they get 50 grand into debt and they're like, oh my
Oh,
God,
yeah.
this is not working.
Or they rob Peter to pay Paul. So like one job didn't pay him on time, so they use the money from one job. Oh yeah.
Right, and then they find themselves in debt and not
Hmm.
being able to make money, and then what happens next? You close the business down.
Hmm.
Imagine that. I mean, that's scary. So I
It's
think
awful.
with that being said, I just think
Keep your overhead as low as you
Yeah.
can. So buying a new truck probably wouldn't be one
Right.
of
You
your
don't want to start
advice
out with like
points.
$100,000 Freightliner, right? You want to rent some trucks until you build some
Yeah.
clientele up and like. So I think those are like three important things.
Well, Charlie, thank you so much for coming
Thank
to
you
hang
so
out.
much for having me. It was a
I'm so
pleasure.
excited. We're gonna post this tomorrow.
Okay.
Right? Josh, when is
Really?
this? Oh, tonight. Just
Oh,
kidding.
really?
This goes up tonight.
Where does
I'll
it get
have reels.
posted?
So it's gonna be on it's a YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, it's literally everywhere.
Okay, cool.
We'll have reels tomorrow
Okay.
because he's gonna edit this all night until it's posted.
And we can like post them on our social media.
Yeah, I'm gonna collaborate with you and help, if it helps
Okay.
build your business. So anyone watching Lately with Lex, if you're looking for a mover, we have a new designated mover.
That sounds awesome.
Um,
Yes, definitely.
yeah, so that was the whole point of me trying to do these shows was to have local businesses come in here
Right.
and just talk about what it's like to have a business.
Absolutely.
Because maybe some kids follow me that want to have a business and don't know how. And,
Right.
maybe it's not all about what I do, but maybe there's someone watching that their son wants to open up a moving company or a chick wants to open a moving company. Who knows? You never know
Right.
these days.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
And then
seems like more and more people are trying to start their own business
yeah, because they
recently.
don't want the lockdown of a 9 to 5 because they think it's easier owning a business. And I think
Tell me sometimes you don't miss a night like the regular
if
schedule.
you are an entrepreneur that doesn't think of, if not once a month, you go, shit, it'd be so nice just to clock in and clock out.
Right.
You're out of your
Right.
mind. Like
Right.
there's always a day I think that all of us like we want to throw in the towel.
Right. Yeah.
Because it is hard. It's
For sure.
stressful.
I
You're
know.
managing financing, people, other people's emotions, trying to figure out everything else, making
Right.
sure your clients are good. So I think that the reason why when I built the studio, like the aesthetic of it wasn't just like to talk to business owners that have these giant businesses and for people to want to be them.
Right.
Because that's not realistic. But
Right.
what's realistic is talking to local businesses and saying, hey, listen, how bad was it to start? Was the struggle that hard? How did you hustle? Because if you can do it and you come from the same area I come from,
Right.
there's no reason why I can't do it too. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of the community I wanted to create was people that think that maybe starting a business is easy, but then listen to you and say, hey, listen, maybe instead of buying that truck, maybe I'm going to rent a U-Haul. Maybe I'm going to
Right.
just buy a pickup truck
Right.
and a trailer.
I feel like no,
Start
yeah.
with junk removal.
Right.
Like that's a
Definitely.
huge thing now.
Definitely.
So I think that the reason why I wanted to keep the show kind of light, fluffy, and have everyone from physicians, attorneys to moving companies
Yeah,
to
I love it. I love it.
plumbers, fishermen, like you name it, I want on the
Absolutely.
show because there is something for everybody. And this area, there's like, I feel like everyone's a business owner that I know.
I know.
So I'm like, why not just like
Right.
get to sit, hang out,
Yeah,
and
no,
just,
I think it was awesome.
you know,
I'm super. Thank you for inviting me. It was
you're
such a
so
pleasure.
you're so welcome. Well, catch this coming out tonight, guys. I'm so excited, and we'll see you next week. Cool.
Thank you.
That's it.